Back from Alpha Charts with a state of the market video. Today is August 28th, 2021. Before we get started, this video is for educational purposes only. These are not recommendations to buy, sell, or hold any stock or security, and I may hold positions in some of the equities mentioned. Know your time frame and risk tolerance. All right, so it was a really interesting week. Obviously, if coming into this week, I was kind of cautious, right? We were back in here and honestly not sure which way the market wanted to turn. But Monday actually changed my mind right here on this bar right there. That told me that we were in a much more bullish environment. And the rest of the week played out very nicely. A little shakeout on Thursday. And then on Friday, I know there was a Fed whatever statements or whatever, and the market did very good. So let's go ahead and dive in and see what this really looks like. Again, SPX looks good. Now the RSP I think is the better measure, right? Looking at breadth, and I think that's gonna be kind of what we're the focus is here is breadth improving or not, and RSP equal weight S&P out at all-time highs. That's improving breadth right here, right? In this area, we weren't sure. If you remember, 152-ish was my line in the sand coming into the week. I wasn't sure if it was going to roll back over or not. Well, again, you see this nice big gap right here on Monday. That's a mind changer, change your stance right there. And then it just continued higher the whole week and back in this nice power trend going through there. Looking at the Qs, we were battling this level here, right? This was an important level and had been for a while. This 368, 369 area. Well, it gapped up above it and it kept going the rest of the week. Again, this is a mind changer right there, right? So if you're, once price, picks a decision, no matter what you think may, could, should happen, this is what is. And so make sure we're aligned with what is actually happening. So as of right now, again, power trend is intact. This is a bull market. You see the 923 never crossed over. It crossed over in a bullish way back in May, and in the end, really hasn't looked back since. Right, so things are looking really good. Looking at the equal weight Qs, again, closing at all-time highs. That's bullish, and things are doing well. Obviously, is there potential divergence here? All these charts have potential divergences, and so those can either be alleviated by price or by time or some combination of both. And as you can see on the indexes, things are getting a little bit extended from the moving averages. So when it does, don't be surprised if maybe next week sometime, maybe not, I don't know, price comes back in, checks back to the moving average and moves higher. And you see it's always checking back, moving higher, checking back, moving higher, checking back, moving higher, checking back, moving higher, right? So that is within the character of the market. So again, we're starting to move higher, starting to get a little bit extended. So at some point, I expect it to check back and then move higher again. That's Qs. Let's look at IWM. This is the Jan Brady. I'm sorry, the Marsha Brady, right? Middle child. It just has been trendless for the entire year. But look on Friday, beautiful move up, right? So we had it started back on August, we'll call it August 20th. You had the big move up. Now we have a nice bullish cross here, which again, we've had a lot of mishmash in here. So I don't put a ton of weight into this bullish cross, but this right here, I think that could be significant. Very likely we're going to come back up here and hit this upper, potential resistance area, 232-ish. If we decide to break out from there, if price decides to break out from there, that is by far a very, very bullish scenario. And if you look at the mid caps, the MDY, I think this is a really important area right here, and they actually look fantastic. So they are trying to break out again, gigantic bullish candle right there on amazing volume. Beautiful base. And again, going back, this is the mid caps. We had the breakout here. Let's do a weekly chart, easier to see. You have the breakout, then there's consolidation, and this looks like it wants to move higher again. It's on the weekly, and here's the daily. So mid caps look like they want to break out. IWM is starting to get its mojo going a little bit. SPX and QQQs at all-time highs, as well as the equal weights. So indexes are looking great. Let's look at the IWO. IWO, again, this is the growth sector, looks pretty much like the IWM. So we're, beautiful bullish candle here. I think it hits this, top of this range, 316-ish, and then we'll see what happens. Hopefully this is just some kind of, base that's making very long, consolidation from its amazing move. Consolidation, and then hopefully this moves higher. We'll see though. I think it's a very defined range, which is kind of nice. That's IWO. Looking at financials, just looks amazing, right? It had this kind of this basing area, just like we see in a lot of the other ones, and now it's closing at all-time highs. Financials are participating, if not, one of the leaders. That is always a positive. And just want to look at IYG. Yeah, IYG, which is the large cap financial services. This one again going out at all-time highs. And again, looks very, very bullish. That's your JP Morgans and your Citis and Bank of America's, Goldman Sachs, whatever, American Express. That's IYG. So yeah, both of them are doing well. Looks just like kind of like the XLF. It makes sense. SMH. So SMH started to break down here. This was just kind of a check back into this, supply area, and it popped right back up. It held it, went right back up again, closed at all-time highs. It looks like, again, semiconductors doing well. That's a positive for the market. Lumber came back, retested the breakout area once, twice. Again, coming back in, we're like, oh man, if this rolls over, that's going to be a problem. And it didn't. It came back up. I think that's a positive for the market too. Would love to see that breakout above 90-ish or so. And lumber doing well, again, is a positive signal for the market. Looking at bonds, bond ratios, really, right? Credit spreads. And let's just get some of this stuff off of my chart so it looks nicer. I just got rid of volume. Oh well. Yeah, so coming into the week, I was worried that this was going to break out. I said 152 is really the line in the sand. Well, what happened? It rolled over again. It rolled over on was that Friday was like hitting it. Monday, it rolled over. That was again another bullish signal. I was saying, so the bond market with the big Fed meeting coming up was not concerned about the Fed meeting. So that was a big piece of information. And I think I posted that on Twitter, I think Friday morning, pre-market though. I said the bond market is not worried about the Fed meeting. So I'm not really worried about the Fed meeting. And the funny part was I put it with a chart of the put call ratio. We'll just jump to this real quick. And put call ratio on Thursday, got more bearish, right? This is equity only put call ratio, and people got more bearish. So retail traders were getting bearish, right? And these aren't hedges for the most part because it's equity only, it's not indexes, and usually the indexes are hedged. So people got bearish on certain equities, but the bond market didn't. And so I was like, who's smarter, right? The bond market or retail traders? And obviously the bond market is much smarter. And they said, hey, there's nothing to worry about right now. And so that, again, was a very bullish sign. VIX, beautiful, 16.4. Again, a bullish range, nothing to worry about there. The VIXN came down also. Beautiful, nothing to see there. We talked about the put call ratio. It's again, there's still room to get overbought. So there could still be more upside to be had. It's in a bullish range, nothing to worry about there, no extremes at least. Talking about breadth, here was this downtrend line, and you see breadth broke out of that to the upside. I think that is a very, very bullish scenario. with value line geometric index moving higher. Excellent. Looking at MMFI, which is the percent of stocks above the 50-day moving average. Again, we were worried about this rollover in breath. Again, as things moved higher, I became more and more bullish on the market during the week. And you see now it's at 54.76. Again, not a world beater, but it's improving breadth. And that's all you want to see is improving breadth, right? Up here, you've missed a huge part of the move if you're buying when things are already at 90, 95% above the 50-day moving average. Only 55% of the stocks are above the 50-day. There's still room to the upside to be had. That was MMFI. Again, if you look at gold really hasn't caught a bid. It's been a crappy trade. People aren't piling in, so it's not an indicator. It's just junk. And then let's look at Bitcoin. Hold on, I have a bunch of coins that I am following, but here's Bitcoin. And as you can see, Bitcoin just kind of consolidating in a new uptrend. Looks good. All the coins look really good right now. Solana being a beast. Again, it's not what the point of this is. I don't know where Solana is on here. There it is right there. I mean, Solana being a beast. So yeah, if altcoins are doing well, Bitcoin's doing well, Chainlink's not doing well, but Uniswap, whatever, ICP, if these coins are in uptrends, here's Ethereum doing well. I think the market's, again, doing well. We're not seeing a risk off, we're seeing a risk on type scenario. So I think it was a great week for the market. I think that looking at the Qs, going out all-time highs, things are good. There's still obviously divergences going on there. There's always going to be, now I would have to move up here to this area, then I'd have to move up here to this area, then I would delete it, so I'm not worried about the divergence at this point because price action and breadth is improving so much. You're seeing participation in financials and semiconductors, and mid caps are looking amazing, like they want to break out. Tech's doing great, so across the board, I think it's definitely a bullish scenario. Is there going to be pullbacks along the way? Absolutely. Are there going to be things that are going to try to put doubt in your mind? For sure. When I see something like this, that puts doubt in my mind, right? But as it reclaims quickly, that makes me, again, more bullish, especially when you look at the sum of everything together, so that's that. Market looks great. I hope we get some kind of sustained rally going into the end of the year, or at least the next couple of weeks or months, and we all can make a whole bunch of money on this market. Thank you for watching. If you like this type of content, like and subscribe. It really does help me out a bunch on my channel, so I thank you very much ahead of time. And you can always catch me on Twitter at AlphaCharts365. I'm there every day posting my scans and thoughts on the market. All right, so y'all take care. Have a great day.